The energy of mental grasping. Questioner.
Here are my latest ponderings, which I'm having some difficulty verbalizing. Anyway, here is my attempt. Toward the end of last week, I noticed an increase in the energy of mental grasping. Each time I speak with you, I feel incredibly clear for a few days, and then the mental preoccupation seems to return with a vengeance. This time the grasping was about the seeking itself and trying to come to some conclusion with my mind. When that got painful enough, I took a good hard look at it all and thought, wait a minute here. Am I still present and aware? Well, sure, but that is simple and obvious. Then what are these seeking thoughts all about? It occurred to me that in this habit of the mind grasping, there has always been for me the sense that either the grasping must come to a conclusion by finally getting hold of the seeming object I'm grasping for, or that the grasping must be stopped. But the grasping doesn't really matter at all, does it? The grasping will never succeed and cannot be stopped by more grasping. In fact, I guess the grasping is unrelated in any way to the presence of awareness or the beingness that I am, and it doesn't matter if the grasping continues for the rest of my life. The beingness that I am cannot be attained or lost by any mental grasping. It's completely irrelevant. Does this make sense? I still feel pretty wobbly on all of this, but it is beginning to feel real to me in a way that it never has before. I'm still afraid I'm deluding myself. Anyway, that is it for now, I think.
From what I have seen, it can be normal for a certain amount of back and forth sensation as the recognition deepens about this presence awareness. As you see it and feel the clarity, it undercuts the old habits of the mind to seek and grasp. It is not a problem, and there is nothing wrong. We have built up a lifetime of thinking and memory that is all geared toward looking outward and grasping. Trying to stop the grasping will definitely fail. It is always better to just see clearly what is happening, the mechanism of it. Both grasping and trying to stop grasping are mental approaches. Seeing clearly always brings in the awareness aspect. This is more in tune with your true nature. Doing emphasizes the imagined or illusory self. What you are doing, that is just noticing what is going on, is really all you need to do. If you try get rid of grasping or judge it as being a problem, that thinking is only coming from the old perspective, the mind's old style of viewing things. Just continue to notice that it is all based on memories and old ideas. It is just the images based on the past. But you are vital and present and alive right now. And what you are, this livingness, is quite distinct from the thoughts. Seeing that undercuts the tendency to move into thought to find a resolution or an answer. It is not a test, so do not evaluate yourself by any of this. It makes no real difference to what you are and your intrinsic freedom if any of this old thinking is going on. If you seem to get caught up in it, just come back and notice that it is only mechanical thoughts and tendencies arising in something that is bright, fresh, and clear. It is all just old tendencies in the mind. Habits that were developed during the period of ignorance, if you can say that. Fighting thoughts or judging where you are by what is appearing is an old trick that you do not have to succumb to. As your center of gravity shifts back to your sense of presence, and it becomes absolutely clear to you that you are never really affected by thoughts, then you get out of the gripping feeling of all this. A thought, no matter how intense it is only a thought. If you can see it as just a thought, that is good. Or you can use the thought as a reminder that you must be present and aware for the thought to be there. And this brings you back to the awareness. Or if you feel you can muster it, notice that the thought is really an attempt by thinking to say something, usually negative, about your identity. In other words, the concept of being some kind of limited person is being perpetuated by the mind. So you can have a look to see if whatever the mind is saying is true. For example, that is an interesting thought. What is it saying about me? Interesting. Is that really true? What am I anyway? Usually when these thoughts come up, they kind of hit us in the gut, and we instinctively react to whatever the thoughts are saying, without really questioning. We are dancing to the tune of the thoughts and trying to correct ourselves, or get rid of the thought, or just taking them to be true and then feeling bad. The slightest amount of questioning and looking, and the wind goes out of the sails of the mind. If thoughts come up, they come up. You cannot really do anything about them. You do not choose them. They just happen. So in a certain sense, it is not really your problem. If you could choose thoughts, why would you ever choose an unhappy thought? There is often a tendency to try to evaluate ourselves by the activity of the mind. Can you see that you do not need to look to what is going on in the mind and use it to say something about how things are going? I know this is the total reverse of how we usually approach things. Does the sun care if the clouds come up? Does the awareness really care if thoughts come in or not? The more deeply you see yourself as this awareness, the less of an issue the thoughts are. If you try to gauge your state by thoughts, you will be strung out forever, because you never have any control over what may come up. So that cannot be the way to lasting peace. A better approach is to recognize your identity as presence awareness. When that is completely clear and certain, then you are home once and for all. That is what it really all boils down to. The clarity of mind and freedom from grasping is really just a side effect of knowing what your true nature is. It is not like you first free yourself of grasping, and then you discover freedom. Instead, first you discover freedom. Then you notice that from the experience of freedom, the other problems fade from the picture of their own accord. Since meeting Bob Adamson and talking to him, I have never really done much with the mind. Once the essence is clarified, the interest in the stories of the mind just evaporates. It was the complete reverse of what I had imagined. Anyway, I think you are on track with all this. Just let your deeper knowledge be your guide. If you come back to your real self as your touchstone, you can find your way through whatever comes up. Don't worry. Everything just unfolds. It is different for everyone, and there is no right or wrong about any of it.